kids at home. Leave your kids at home. Get your 2 step, get your groove on. This is feel good music, you can move on. Relax, stress free, leave your kids at home. Leave your kids at home.
What's happening, everybody? It's your man, Russ Mitchell, the Homesick Buckeye, and I am here tonight with my friend, my brother, Mr. Dustin Cage from Keto Simple. What's going on, DK?
Oh, living the dream, baby. Living the dream. How are you, sir?
Man, good. We got to bring you in the right way. We got to bring you in the right way with some applause. You know, you're not just anybody, man. This is my man. Man, I appreciate you being here, hanging out with me tonight, man. I appreciate you lowering your standards, man. You got such high standards. You got such a great channel, man. But you lowered your standards. You lowered that bar and let me hang out with you, man. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. How you been?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Living the dream, you know.
Yep. Well, we are here on a Tuesday night on the can with the fam, doing what we do, just hanging out, having a good time, enjoying life, enjoying each other, fellowshipping. If you have a question, a non-scale victory, anything you want to make fun of me, you want to crack a joke, you know you're in the right place. Come on in here. We'll spend the next little while just hanging out with each other, having a good time. And we got a link in the chat. So if you want to pop on the stream, you can do so. How's your week, man? How's the family, everything?
Everybody's doing good, you know. We're getting ready to do school shopping tomorrow for the young one. She's going to kindergarten.
Love that.
Woo!
I love that, man. So do your kids eat, you know, the way the grandkids and stuff eat the way you eat?
The grandkid does when she's here.
Gotcha.
So we're backwards from most grandparents. So most grandparents are going to feed their kid, you know, grandkids candies and everything, and then send them home. And then the parents are like, "Oh, just feed them." You know, no, we're backwards from that. So
yeah,
outside of like usually on Fridays we take her out and get her some French fries and some ice cream and stuff. But in the mornings we make her eggs and sausage and, you know,
yeah,
keep her as clean as we can. I mean, she's 5, so she'd rather do anything than eat. So
yeah. So what about when the other kids at school and stuff, or she's playing with her friends and they whip out some type of candy or, you know, I don't know, some type of treat or whatever? Does she, you know, she knows, you know, how you guys eat, but she still is all about
it. Well, she's picky. So as far, I mean, you know, what she eats at home is going to be different than what she eats at our house. Yeah. And I think when it comes to school, like she was in preschool and they wouldn't let us send anything. They would provide snacks because they had to be like a peanut allergy free and all that stuff. But she was never super into the snacks they had. So she would usually eat right before she went. And then when we pick her up, we'd usually bring her something to snack on the car ride home and all that stuff. So she's picky, but she's like a normal kid. She likes ice cream and she likes candy and stuff. So, but
who doesn't like
we
ice
try to
cream?
limit that.
I ain't no kid and I like ice cream. So, you know, no, I'm kidding. No, that's awesome though, man. But it's cool that she's got you in her life to balance some of that out, man, you know, and get her, you know, headed on the right direction. We'll see who's around here. Let's see who's hanging out with us. We see Julia. We're going to see her in a little bit. I think she's backstage there. Good to see her. It's been a while. She's been hiding on me. And somebody is their 1-year anniversary. I think that can get some applause. I think I like that. And on that note, I guess we'll just bring her on in. We don't even need a doorbell for her. She's been here enough times. What's going on, Julia? It's Julia, everybody. Welcome to the stream, Julia.
Hi. Got my new T-shirt from Kelly Hogan.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Kelly Hogan.
Save the humans.
Yes, listen. Shout out to Kelly Hogan.
Yeah.
I super chatted a stream she was on. I'm a big fan of hers. I call her Keto Barbie.
Yeah.
And,
she's so cute.
And So it was on Carrie's 24-hour live stream, and I super chatted. And I'm like, I appreciate you so much. Shout out to Keto Barbie. She started laughing, which I'm glad she started laughing because
She's
if
awesome.
she would have gave me the gas face or something, I'm like, oh no, now I can never talk to her again.
Oh wow.
So, but yeah, she was a big inspiration to me when I first started. You guys should all check out her channel. She's still an inspiration to me. Shout out to Kelly Hogan. Great story, great person, coaching folks, teaching folks about our keto life. And man, just an utter and complete sweetheart from everything I know about her. And so yeah, she's awesome. Check her out. So what's been up with you, Julia? Tell what's new in Julia.
Well,
Man.
like I said, my 1-year anniversary tomorrow. And what's new is actually I started on Lion Diet because I was sensitive to eggs, just sensitive to everything, pretty much.
Yeah.
I was finding that eggs were kind of just going through my body, and I thought maybe I was eating too much fat, all that. So I stopped. It helped. And then I want
to ask you a question.
Yes.
What kind of eggs were you eating? Were you just eating any eggs you could get, or were you
farm eggs,
brown, different colored eggs? I mean, so what were you doing?
Easter eggs? No kidding. Farm eggs from a friend that has chickens.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's what I thought at first. So I switched to that, and it was still giving me trouble, causing rashes and things like that. So I think I can eat them every now and then, but I just can't eat them every day. You know?
And how were you eating them? How are you eating them? Were
I
you
was
boiled, scrambled?
Scrambled with ghee, because butter, I have issues with the dairy. Or I had them just over easy, cooked in bacon fat, or whatever, or even tallow a lot of times. I never use obviously the seed oil, but
Yeah. No, it's funny because eggs don't agree with me as well boiled as they do like scrambled and that. Yeah, I shouldn't say they don't. I have to be a little more precise. They don't come out as well. They agree with me, but
I understand. I tried even just the yolks. That didn't work. I tried boiling them. That didn't. I tried everything, and it's simply the eggs do not agree with me. And same with bacon. I find if I eat maybe a couple strips every few days or something, no problem. But if I eat them every day, I get horrible pain in my ankle. Like it's like I can't even touch it. It's almost like gout feeling. It's really painful.
And did you try green eggs and ham? Did you try anything?
Actually, yes, and it still didn't work.
So you know Sam then. You know Sam. Okay.
I know Sam, I am. No. Oh my God.
I got you. Have you Dustin, have you have any egg issues in your crew over there?
No.
You're egg-tastic.
Yeah, I mean, and we go through so many eggs I couldn't afford to buy like the fancy ones. We get like just a box of 5 dozen box or whatever, whether it's from Costco or Walmart or wherever, we just get them. Thankfully, we don't have any issues.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I was really disappointed because I love eggs, but
I understand that.
The body.
So, there's no doubt about that. So you're off of eggs and bacon. I'm off of bacon too. I talked about that on the show last week. I have just found that bacon doesn't sustain me very well. And so if I eat eggs and bacon in the morning, I swear I'll be hungry in a few hours.
Exactly.
Versus if I eat some beef sausages or ground beef or steak and something like that, it seems to just stick with me much, much longer.
Definitely.
So plus it's a little bit messy cooking it, all the grease and splatter, and plus I've saved about a 55-gallon drum's worth of bacon grease, so I got enough of that to last a lifetime.
Right?
So I figured, hey, now I'll start doing ground beef and saving beef tallow.
Man, amen. I've been giving it away to friends. I said, get off that seed oil. Here, take a jar of this, And then they come back and tell me how good it tastes and how much better they feel. So I've been giving it away, because I don't need that much. I mean, if I eat too much, it just does. It's like the U curve that Dr. Chafee talked about with your digestion. So too little fat, you get constipated. Too much fat, you get the run. So you have to find that balance. And I, with the fatty red meat, as long as it's not rendered fat for me, I do really well.
Yeah. No, I love that. Shout out to the folks. I think it's our Bruce out there. Doc V is in the building. Good to see you, Doc. And Evelyn, my dear, wonderful to see you. So how long have you been doing Lion?
So I started it's been about 2 weeks. I mean, I was pretty much leaning toward it anyway. And I kept hearing it in my mind, like, okay, you need to go Lion diet. So it's been 2 weeks, and it has resolved all the issues I was having. So I'm one of those people that's all the way on the extreme end of the spectrum.
Yeah. But I love that. I love that. I do that a couple of days a week. I'm not doing it for none of, but there's lots of time when I just eat, ground beef and oxtails maybe for breakfast. And then, I did that for the first time. I mixed my ground beef and oxtails because the oxtails are so fatty. They were giving me a little bit of problem. I talked about that last week on the show. Don't travel with oxtails, folks. If you make oxtail,
I hear you.
Listen, this is what I did. I tell it all. I let you have it. I was on my way. I think it was to Texas, as a matter of fact, for KetoCon, and I made a bunch of oxtails and took them with me. And the first day, I ate some, and I ended up getting some hamburger patties and eating it with that because it was it was coming on out of there aggressively.
It kind of balances it out having the ground beef with it.
Yeah, because it was just so fatty. So it wasn't good. That's something that we eat at the house. But from now on, I'm going to do that anyway. So I made some ground beef and I made some oxtails. I mixed the oxtails in with the ground beef, seasoned everything up, and it was really good and didn't give me any problems whatsoever. So I could travel with ground beef and oxtails, but not oxtails by themselves.
Right.
Have you guys you're an oxtail fan?
Anybody like what my question, what I was going to ask, and maybe some other people out there know, that when I first started the whole carnivore diet, I didn't have any trouble with the eggs or the bacon or anything, but it's been like a late development, like maybe at the 11-month, 10-month mark. And I was wondering if anyone's experienced that and why, if they know why that happens or could happen. Because I didn't have any problems before.
I don't know. Dustin's way smarter than me. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, maybe in your group you might know people that have.
Well, I was kind of wondering. I think when you kind of focus on something and something like eggs becomes part of like a staple part of the diet, it could kind of start picking up like an allergy, like especially if you were not eating as many, depending on how. Right. Because if you went basically carnivore, and you were probably just eating like beef and eggs primarily anyway.
Correct.
Yeah, so I imagine that just kind of having that focus on the eggs and kind of may have triggered something. Because if you weren't eating them that often, it probably wouldn't cause an issue.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense. And I always ate farm eggs because I thought that it was the store-bought stuff and that whatever they fed the chickens that was causing it, but it didn't make any difference. So, but that's good to know. That makes sense. Yeah, maybe it built some kind of a tolerance to it or something.
Could be.
Yeah, or just maybe, like you said, it's just too much. Maybe every now and then it's okay.
Have you tried duck eggs?
No. I don't know where I could look for some, I guess, but no, I haven't.
Because we'll find them at like Fresh Time every once in a while, but they're usually more expensive. They're usually like $1 each at the grocery store if you find them. But depending on where you are, you may want to look at like I don't know. There's probably like some kind of directory, I would say, because I get stuff in my feed all the time. People saying, or people will send me things that people have duck eggs or whatever for sale, and then I'll be driving down. We kind of live like out of the city, but not far out of the city. But we'll drive and you'll see like signs that say farm fresh eggs or whatever, $5 or whatever for a dozen. So.
I'll check into it. That maybe the farmer's market or some people there might know, because we have a local farmer's market every Saturday. So, they might have a source.
Or even if wherever you're getting your whoever has your chicken eggs you were getting, they may have a inside scoop on where to get some duck eggs.
Yeah, I should ask her. I don't know though if it's just a histamine reaction. I think that's what my main problem was. This is the thing that you find out in carnivore. You eat so clean that whatever issues you were having, you really can isolate. And I think in my case with the horrendous coughing and stuff like that, it was a histamine reaction to a lot of stuff that I had my entire life. And just to be free of that is like, I pinch myself sometimes. It feels so good, just not to have pain and not to be coughing constantly and not to have when I get the runny nose, I know why, if it's something I ate. But man, it's like just to be free of that stuff after having all those issues all your life and not knowing, and I did.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Well, we'll see. Whatever you do, don't go to the Cadbury chocolate egg. Don't do that. That's you don't want that. That will not work. Don't ask me how I know.
Oh, believe me, I am so done with the sweets because they instantly lead to really deep, dark depression with me. And it's the mental illness part of it. That's the reason I had done keto for 13 years, and it lifted the depression for the most part. But man, I'm so done with that crap. I just take a look around and it's like, do I really want to do that to myself? No. And I feel so sad for people that just, they're in it. They're in that sugar addiction. Yeah. Kelly Hogan addresses that really well, like just how bad it can get. And,
I'm with you on that. Shout out to Mary Bell. I see you there. Yeah, you've been missing in action there, sis. Good to see you back with us. Jenny has a question. Hi, Russ and Dustin. I'm interested in making keto meals for my 3-year-old granddaughter who can't eat dairy. Well, then you don't want to have milk or cheese. I know. What do you think, Dustin?
I would say, because, 3-year-olds are going to be pretty picky. And they'll go through phases. Like I know because we've been watching our granddaughter since, she was born basically. And now she's almost 6. And she'll go through phases where she will eat something every day. And then you'll make it the next day after eating it like 20 days in a row. I don't want that. But, so I would start out with eggs. She doesn't like them seasoned. So no salt, no pepper, just eggs cooked in some butter. Or if there's issues with dairy, I don't know. Sometimes people with dairy issues, butter bothers them. Sometimes it doesn't. You can always go with bacon grease, avocado oil, whatever you have handy.
Beef,
because I just ordered some beef tallow on Prime Day. So I've got some beef tallow coming.
Love it.
But we've always got lard. We've always got bacon grease. We've always got butter and all that stuff. So ghee, whatever you want, whatever will work. Sausages, ham, really whatever they'll eat. Because at that point, to me, a kid, like toddlers, getting them to eat is the biggest part of the battle. So whatever they, basically you want to make sure they're getting the best nutrition. But sometimes just getting them to eat something. Sometimes we'll even give her like chicken nuggets. We'll try to find the lowest carb chicken nuggets we can or whatever, just to get them to eat something because they're just so picky. So,
well, if you're trying to be keto and not, that opens it up for you too. Yeah. Because you're not restricted to just meat, but
you can throw in some avocado chunks and
and you can do pork rinds with the chicken nuggets, instead of, and that gives it that crispy, crunchy feeling without getting them hooked on carbs and sugar. Because it's so hard because it's everywhere in the school and it's everywhere, just everywhere it's in society. And you can start them, if you can start them at that age, getting them to like not eating that stuff, that's awesome.
Yeah, and if you're like I said, if you're trying to stay within a certain carb number, obviously you can do some vegetables and some things like that. So yeah, I think hopefully
berries,
that helped out.
She likes strawberries, she likes blueberries.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the little kids that's not going to hurt them. That's actually good.
Yeah, it's all about keeping their carbs in a certain window, and of course, if they're young and active, they're burning them up
And then
Well,
the
that's fast for
metabolism is not damaged either. So they can do it, you know.
Well, there you go. Maribel says, Jenny, make a little charcuterie. Isn't that I don't know what that is. She's from
Charcuterie board.
California. She's from
just like
California,
this,
folks.
meats
They
and
use those
cheeses,
kind of
like a
ones.
meat and cheese platter.
Yeah, but you can't eat cheese if she's.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. But that charcuterie would be meat and
Little
cheese,
mini
maybe some. They'll have like olives and stuff on them sometimes.
Gotcha.
You know,
I
crackers.
Oh, I think she'd make your little one a.
Yeah.
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 That's a good idea too, and it makes it make it attractive.
Pepperoni, you know, whatever they'll eat.
Finger food they like. I remember that with my kids. If I rolled up the meat, like made little took some ham and rolled it up and stuff like that, they would.
I don't think so, Rick.
Shout out to my man Rick. And
Man.
now we will come to the part of the show that we have. Rick is here, but he's not here. Well, he's here with us in spirit. Our Wild Kingdom segment of the show, where we talk about all kind of wild animals that are being caught, trapped, killed, assassinated in his yard. You know, Rick, it's very funny that you should mention this, and I think I mentioned it in this last week. I can't remember. I happened across. Yes, I did, because I told you about it. You can't. Your memory's bad, man. I came across a video of some people who caught a raccoon and literally strung it up, dressed it right there on the video, right there in their backyard.
Wow.
And I just happened across it. I really wasn't looking for it, I promise. But they trapped it, they killed it, they strung it up, dressed it, the whole 9 yards. Because I remember asking Rick, they stored it, they got all the skin and off of that and all that off of it and took the guts and stuff out. Then they soaked it in milk overnight. And I didn't know why they did that. And I Googled it and I found out that it takes the gaminess out of wild caught meat. And they boiled that thing up and it looked chickeny, like looking at the meat. It looked like it looked like dark meat chicken, but they boiled it and so it's definitely safe to eat. I can answer that because I'm pretty sure they're still alive. And there was
at least it's safe for them to eat.
Yeah.
Good point.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure that wasn't their last video, but it may have been. But yeah, you know, when I was a kid, that was very common. We had a next door neighbor that rented dogs to coon hunt with. That was his livelihood. He had a team of coon hunting dogs, and you could pay him, I don't even know how much, to take his dogs out, and they would find raccoons and, you know, and then you bring the dogs back. You know, I don't know. They were coon hunting dogs.
Yeah.
So yes, there you go, Rick. You have the answer, and I'll try to find that video for you and send you a link to it. Even.
Yeah, Evelyn says milk tenderizes the meat and kills the bacteria.
Yeah,
so that makes sense.
Yeah.
I remember in Italy they did that a lot to different types of meat. You know, I know for tenderizing it.
Yeah, because there's a lot of meat that you don't want to eat, like wild boar. You got to be careful because you can get trichinosis and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so there you go. Hard cheeses are better on the belly. And yes, I was going to ask you about that. I remember you saying that last week, Jenny. She was going to make some oxtails. Use the gel for a chicken soup. Sick friend today. Save the fat to make towel. Yeah.
Nice.
You ever mix any oxtails in your life there, D?
I've never had oxtails before.
Well,
really
don't
good.
make them and pack them with you on a trip.
They are really good.
Actually,
So you're not gonna bring those to KPL?
You may be more fat adapted than me. But hey, look, maybe we'll find us a Jamaican restaurant somewhere and go out and have some. If you have Caribbean restaurants anywhere, it's a staple in any Caribbean restaurant. It's very tense. It's a wonderful. I'm sorry, Julie, what's that?
In Italy, they make what they call osso buco. It means bone with a hole in it. And it's basically the larger piece of the oxtail.
Mm-hmm.
And it's seared and then it's slow cooked.
Yeah.
In a frying pan. And of course they put onions and all that stuff on it, which I don't, but the idea is that it seals the juices in, and then the slow cooking, it just falls off the bone.
Yeah, you have to slow cook it. It's a coarse kind of a meat. You got to slow cook it. I pressure cook mine. I've slow cooked it as well, but man, it is so good. Just so very tender. Very just. It's like the most. It's better than roast. It's roast like, but it's much more tender and juicy and fatty than roast.
Wow.
And it's a staple. I get it from Costco. I don't know. I probably got 15 pounds of oxtails in there.
Oh, wow.
And I pressure cook them. They are wonderful. They're in my rotation.
Huh.
Good, Jenny. I'm glad your oxtails turned out all right. And she likes the charcuterie or charcuterie board idea. There you go, Mary Bell. Olives, meats, pickles, nuts. Yeah,
things that would be on a charcuterie board, along with
they won't choke on, of course.
Yes.
But they love that.
There you go.
Texture.
Yeah, you mentioned that before. So, Evelyn, have you had raccoon or some gamey meat? You can share your experience with us here.
I mean, Rick's already eating iguana and boa constrictors.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, I'm pretty sure if you run out of ducks out there, Rick.
He doesn't eat the ducks, I don't think.
The raccoons were getting.
Oh, the heck he doesn't.
No, you don't.
Killing the ducks.
I thought ducks were his favorite. I thought ducks were like his friends.
Oh, he likes them, all right. He likes them deep fried in lard. That's and he has a whole system. He has talked about this at length on the show. He's got like a guillotine and a whole process of where he brings them in, he feeds them, because you don't want to. You have to sneak up on them with the guillotine. Like, you can't just grab them and then butcher them because they tense up, I guess, and it makes the meat bad. I mean, he broke this thing down to the molecule. So he has backyard to feed, and the girls, because he has the males and the females together. They're all happy and everything, and they have to stick their neck, I guess, through this device to eat. So one day, whenever he feels the need to do this, they stick their head in there to eat like a regular, ordinary day, and kaboom! 20 minutes later, they're in a pot.
That is like, I mean, it's ingenious, but it's like that's some like medieval type.
Only Rick.
Some like successful Wile E. Coyote catching stuff.
Yes, that is my guy.
He catches them.
He's got listen. I don't know how many he's got back there now, but that is his system, and he's definitely explained it many times, and it's amazing to me. I've never had any digestive issues, but I can eat lard right from the block. Yeah, I don't think I'm that. Some people, not keto or carnivore people, but like if you go online and watch how people make their oxtails, the different ways they make them, a lot of people trim the fat off of them.
Oh God, that's
because it's a lot, and for a person that's not initiated or not in that life, they're like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do with all this? I had to admit in front of Carnivore Brett and the entire carnivore universe, who half of them hate me anyway, but I bought some picanha and I trimmed some of the fat off of it because, again, for me, it was just too much.
Yeah, it just depends on your body. I eat a lot. I have to actually, when I eat a ribeye, I can eat most of it, but then I kind of know when I've reached that saturation point, and then I just put it outside for the critters or give it to the dog.
Yeah, I cut probably about maybe a third of it. I'll have about 2/3 of it on.
Yeah,
because it's just too much for me. I'm not one to make the bites and all the stuff that people make. I eat it, on the steak with the steak.
Right.
But if it's too much, sometimes I have to.
Yeah, it just goes right through you.
Yeah.
It's not pleasant. And I mean, one of the reasons I got on carnivore is to get rid of the IBS, And
yes.
That again, it's like, no.
This, Evan, I'm very glad that you asked me this question because my girl Christy's in the building, Meeting Wellness. Love you, sis.
Hello, Christy.
Christy.
And I've talked about her on this show a few times, and I don't think she might have heard it or seen it, but I'll let you guys answer that first. I'll modify the question a little bit. Just talk about your favorite cuts of meat, period. But you can emphasize the grill part.
I guess I'll
Julia?
go first. My favorite cut is ribeye. Second to that is New York strip, and I cook it in an air fryer. 3 minutes aside with Redmond's smoked salt on both sides. Comes out delicious.
There you go. I think that's probably going to win most of the contest. What about you, D?
Whatever's on sale.
My man. My man.
I mean, I eat a lot of frozen burgers. Mine's a simplistic kind of lifestyle. So for me, frozen burgers, ribeye, strip steaks, sirloin. Really eggs. Obviously, but and I just cook most things as easy and quickly as I can. I just cast iron skillet. Because for me, like dragging the grill out and getting it. I've got a pellet grill, so I got to plug it in, get it started, wait for it to heat up. I'm too lazy for all that. I love having the grill, but like I got to move the lawnmower out of the way, and I'm like, it's just. And I've got stuff like stacked on the bottom of the grill because it's stored. I got a kitty litter stored there. Like, so really, I don't know. It's like, why would and realistically, for just Shander and I, most of the time, just the two of us, cast iron skillet holds 3 or 4 steaks.
They're awesome.
Yeah,
it's heavy.
Yeah.
I just seasoned it the other day again because my kid, I had it sitting on. I had just seasoned it, and I had it sitting on the stove. And I come in the kitchen, and she had it in the sink.
Oh no!
But it's not a big deal. I just wiped it out, put more oil in it, turn the oven to 500, slept it in the oven, let it sit there for a while, turn the oven off, and the next day, perfect. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal, but like, come on.
No.
Yeah. I have a indoor a Ninja Sizzle indoor grill that I use. It kind of cooks like an iron skillet the way it's built, and it has a big heavy plate, so it's kind of iron skillet. And then I have an electric skillet, a huge electric skillet. I scramble 24 eggs in it.
Wow.
And I can cook. It's like 18 inches, it's deep.
Nice.
And I can do 3 or 4 steaks in there depending on the size. I'm pretty much the same as anybody on that, ribeye, strips. However, I have to say that the picanha is making up a lot of ground, and I think I can say it's my second favorite cut of meat now, battling with the ribeye, but I don't think anything can beat the ribeye. And I have to thank my girl Christy for that, because I will tell the story even though I've told it before because I don't think she's heard it. I watched her on a live stream one time. I think it might have been Carnivore Soldier. It might have been Larry's stream. And he was talking about favorite cuts of meat, and she said hers was picanha. And I was like, you are crazy like that glue. There is no way that anything can beat the ribeye. Come on, man. It's fatty. But she just talked about it and raved about it. I said, okay, I'm going to try that. And I found out it has different names. It's called top sirloin cap some places. It's also called culotte steak some places. So you have to, in some places it's called picanha. I think picanha is a Brazilian word, actually.
It is.
And they serve it at a lot of Brazilian steakhouses. Well, I had it for the first time at a Brazilian steakhouse. It was amazing. And then I got some locally, and it wasn't terribly expensive. It was like $7.50 a pound.
Wow.
And it was amazing. I had an argument with myself about who made it. That's how good it was. I was like, man, this is good. Who made this? Like, you made it. No, I didn't.
Christy snuck in your house and cooked it for you.
Yeah. It was so good that I had to argue with myself about who made it. And I have to say that it is now a staple. I've gotten rid of my strips and my other, because I really only ate ribeyes and New York strips predominantly, unless something would really have to be on sale. for me. I would wait for the sales too. Like I stock up. I back the truck up when they have a good sale, and I buy all I can get. So yeah, I have to say picanha is definitely my second favorite.
I have never tried it. I'm going to now.
You got to, and it comes in a triangle. It looks like a tri-tip. If you're not, and it's usually in the same area. So like if you're not careful, you grab the wrong one because one's more expensive than the other. But it's always in a triangle shape. And I just cut the little corner ends off, and I make steaks out of it. And they look like New York strip steaks.
Oh wow!
When you do them that way, and I cook them that way, I do a dry brine, salt everything, and all that kind of stuff. And man, they're good. Now I cut off some of the fat cap because it's very thick. Yeah. You would probably not do that, which I understand. But for me, because I wish I had a picture. I sent Who's Your Carnivore a picture.
Speaking of him, he's here.
Yeah, I was going to say. I don't know if he's got it, but I don't have it near me. But I sent him a picture, and you can see it's got a ton of fat on it. And I still cut off like a half of it. And it still had a ton of fat left on it because it's got a big cap, kind of like a brisket, you know. So there's tons of fat on it, and it's a marbled cut, very tender cut, and so yeah, it was pretty awesome.
So the names are picanha or culotte steak, or what was the other?
Top sirloin cap.
Top sirloin.
Yes, because I didn't know what it was, and when I looked it up, I saw that, and I had seen top sirloin cap before, and I had seen culotte steak before, but I didn't know that it was the same thing. But at different regions, they do different things.
I never see it like my Costco never has it. They don't even always have tri-tip. I mean, they never have picanha or any of the things that you'd make picanha out of. So most of the places
my Costco has picanha. All the stores around here have it. Winn-Dixie has it. Publix has it. And Costco. I guess I'm lucky that way.
And tri-tip is not the same thing. Or is it?
No. Tri-tip is. It looks like it though. Like if you set them next to each other and didn't have a label on them, you might think, they look similar in the package, and they usually have them in the same area. But look who's here! We got another visitor at the cookout. It's our man, Doc V. We got to bring Doc V in the right way too.
Hello.
And that's Dr. Nelson Vasquez.
I'm here to talk about picanha.
There you go. Well, tell them all about it, Doc. I think you got a delay.
So the tri-tip is at the bottom of the sirloin. Okay, hold on a second. All right, is that better?
Well, I think it's you have trouble hearing us more so than we're hearing you.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we don't have a problem hearing you. It's just the delay. I think but go ahead.
Okay. So the picanha is the sirloin cap or at the top of the whole sirloin, and the tri-tip is at the bottom. They both look kind of similar. The picanha is also called rump cap, in addition to sirloin cap and to culotte steaks.
There you go.
Thank you. I just wrote that all down, and I'll remember now.
So you can find it probably by any of those names. Walmart's here in Florida. Walmart has it at $8.74 a pound. It's the regular price.
Winn-Dixie's pretty much always $7.50 a pound if you got those near you, and Costco is about that too.
Yeah,
And yes, Bruce, you have to slow cook an oxtail. I do mine in a pressure cooker because it's a lot faster, but I have done it in a crock pot as well. Just season them up, throw them in there, and slow cook them. It's 10 times better than roast.
Yeah, and if you're keto and you eat some non-starchy vegetables, you can throw a bunch of those and make a little soup with the oxtails. They are good for soups.
Yes.
Yep.
And then you're getting all that collagen from the bones too. That's really healthy.
Yeah. My son is keto and he likes soup, so I do that for him. Or if I'm gonna eat, then I just put them in the crock pot.
Do you add a little water in it when you start?
If it's just on the crock pot,
yes.
Fill it halfway. I leave some of the meat outside, and then I turn them a little bit after a few hours. The longer you leave them, the more tender they will be.
Because I found that what I did with mine is I seared them first in some tallow or bacon fat and just brown it so it keeps the juices in. Then put them in a crock pot with a little bit of water, just enough to cover it, and then slow cooked it until it was fell off.
Mm. I did make a video about this. Bruce. I don't remember when it was. Maybe 6 months ago, maybe 5 months ago. Shout out to my man Graham. He's out there somewhere in the atmosphere. He asked me to do that. I don't know why anybody would ever ask me to cook anything on a video, but hey, the guy likes lowbrow humor, I guess. So
all right, I'm gonna go back to do some medical charts.
Well, that's important work, Doc.
But
good to see you.
I want to shout out my wife and I yesterday, 40 years anniversary.
Oh, I love that.
Yay.
She says it's been like 10 minutes underwater.
Oh.
Hey, did my friend Erica email you back, Doc?
I haven't checked my email today. I will do that.
Yeah, I sent her a message, and she said that she did get your email.
So for the anniversary dinner, we were at Fogo de Chao, Brazilian Steakhouse, and I had to leave 2 slices of picanha and some filet mignon on the plate because I was completely full.
Yeah.
It hurt me to do that.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I'll see you soon there, Doc. I'll see you in a couple of weeks, my man.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
I'm going to keep listening, but I got to continue typing.
Yep, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you coming in, Doc.
All right, bye-bye.
That is our friend, Dr. Nelson Vasquez, carnivore doc down in the southern central Florida kind of area.
Nice.
Great guy, great story. And
I'm over here getting mad.
Mad about what?
Okay, so you guys are talking about like when you're saying you find picanha and everyone loves how good picanha is. I never find it around here. And you're talking about like it's like $7 to $8 a pound and it's supposed to be super good. Like
it is.
Here, New York strips are like $12 a pound.
Right.
Yeah. Well, they can be $12 a pound here too. Now, okay, listen, I'm the last guy to pontificate on this stuff. I will just share my experience. I was paying a lot more for meat too, and I had to just start shopping around, and I found that certain places just have better prices on meat. Like around here, Winn-Dixie has great prices on meat. Costco's good too. Publix and all these other places, at least in my area, are much higher. And so I'm guessing it's the same in your area. There's probably places. I look for sales. I hunt. It's not like it doesn't always fall in my lap. So I would say, check around. I don't know if you have butcher shops. I know some people say they get 10 times better deals in their butcher shops locally than they do in the stores. And they just go in and get to know the butcher and say, hey, I can get this for $8 a pound over here. Can you beat it? And the butcher's like, yeah, I can do it.
Even if you can find cow tongue now, it's like the same price as sirloin and roast and stuff. It's like
it used to be so cheap.
Yeah.
And I know. Brett's in your area. I wonder what he does or how he's a little northwest of you, or northeast.
Well, I mean, he's like about a 20, 30-minute drive from me, but that's not, I mean, I'm willing to travel. I mean, I have a Sam's membership, a Costco membership. I use the app Flip. So FLIPP is an app that I use, and it shows me all of my, you put your zip code in, and then it shows you all the sale ads for all the stores in your area. And then you can kind of like flip through, and then it tells you when the sales start and end. And so I peruse all those, so I'm not just going, sometimes like Kroger will be good, but I still never see picanha anywhere. So it's not a thing, I don't think, in Indy, unless Brett knows
unless they call it something else. If they call it top sirloin cap, or if they call it, culotte, or something.
I'm going to check with the local Mexican market, because I live in New Mexico and we have really good Mexican markets, and they have delicious meat. The cuts are different. I'm going to ask the butcher if I'll describe it and see if they can get me some, because I've never seen it at Walmart or Lowe's. Those are the only two stores in our area that have meat. That's it. And I've never seen it. So, because I'm always checking the meat aisle for prices and sales and stuff.
Yeah, the only thing I buy from Walmart anymore is I buy their frozen burger patties, because I found that they taste the best to me, which is weird. And then I buy their chicken thighs because they're really cheap.
Yes, they are.
I could tell you here in Jacksonville, besides Publix, Walmart is the most expensive place you can buy meat.
No way. Wow.
I'm telling you, Winn-Dixie is cheaper than that. Costco is cheaper than them. Now that's the only places I shop is Publix, Winn-Dixie, and Costco.
Yeah,
so
Costco's
there may be other
cheaper
places.
than Walmart here.
Yeah, but Walmart's the most expensive, because I thought the same thing. I used to be a member of their club before I started my new diet. And of course, when I started eating more meat, I'm looking around because it did get a little pricey.
It is.
And I discovered that Winn-Dixie around here in this part was the place to go. They were just better, other than Costco. They were the place to go.
I'd have to drive 60 miles to a Costco for me, but it might be worth it to stock up.
And I wait for the sales. I mean, I've got like 2 freezers full of meat, and I haven't paid more than $10 a pound for anything in there.
Wow.
They had $8.99 choice they over this holiday, and I made videos about it as well. Over the holiday here, the 4th holiday, they had choice cuts, not select. They were choice bone-in ribeyes, $8.99 a pound.
Wow.
And I mean, they were good cuts of meat. And I have got, I've probably bought 20 pounds of them.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like, and I stacked them in the freezer. And then they had some select cuts, like at $6.99 a pound, maybe a few months before. But I go in there and I sort through them, and I find the best, marbled, as good as that you can get of the selects.
Right.
And I, same thing. It's not, I'll buy 10 or 15 pounds, easy peasy, and just throw them in my freezer. And, another thing that I do at least once a week, I try to, is I troll the Winn-Dixie and the Publix and look for marked down meat. I got a bunch of good sirloin that was marked down to $6 a pound.
Yep.
Just for quick sale, because it was coming up on time, and I'll slam that in the freezer too, man.
And one thing I'll do too, and it's not always, but I will go through so at a grocery store, sometimes they'll have strip steaks and ribeyes right next to each other, on an end cap display,
yeah. And
I'll look through there, because sometimes they'll mismark the ribeye and have it marked as strip, and you'll save $2 a pound.
Yeah, no.
$3 a pound.
Ooh.
I don't know. I mean, I probably should tell somebody, but I gotta save money where I can.
Hey, look at God. You should tell somebody thank you. That's be God. That's how you should tell them.
There you go.
Well, if they're pretty good with the sales, and I don't know, I'm sure you guys get circulars. We get weekly circulars here, and I look at it every week to look for the meat and what meat's on sale. Bacon, buy one, get one. I'm telling you, it's like must-see TV, man. When that thing shows up, I'm in there looking through, trying to find the deals and the specials. And And so if things aren't on sale, I go to Costco because they're about $1 a pound cheaper on their everyday price than Winn-Dixie is. But when Winn-Dixie has sales, they are, way, way better on the pricing. So that's how I go about it. And like I said, I stock up, and I got enough. I probably got enough in there to last me to Thanksgiving anyway.
Nice.
So
yeah, I need to start looking, maybe just to see if I can buy like a section or talk to some of the butchers around and see what I can do.
Yes, shout out to Maritza. We appreciate you being here. We're here every Tuesday night just hanging out, doing what we do, referred by Chris Cooking Nashville. I love that. I've watched his videos. He can cook. I cannot. So I don't know if he referred you to me or to Dustin or to our stream, but I appreciate that, and I appreciate you being here.
So what's
No, I didn't mean to make you mad on our stream, brother.
No. I was just sitting there thinking, like, if picanha is like this magical meat cut, and like Christy's always going on about, and like all this stuff, and I'm like, I never see it, and you're like, I get it for like $7.50 a pound, and I'm like,
yeah,
that's rude.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to my nephew Levi. He's out of school, so he's up late probably. Good to see you, buddy. I love you, buddy. I hope you're being good and staying out of trouble. But yeah, no, it's and ironically, it's the same price everywhere. $7.50 a pound in my area, and that's at Winn-Dixie and Costco and Publix, which is odd because Publix is higher on everything. So I don't know what that's about.
Wow. Competition.
Nene is in the building. I have my own cows and still watch the sales. Cow bonus rides on sale for $6.99. Yes, I am now just with choice meat. I've upgraded to choice meat, and I wait for it on sale and I stock up. There's just a difference between the choice and the select, obviously. That's why they have different names.
Right.
But I just wait for the sales and stock up. But, I can't lie. Sometimes I peruse down to the select section too and just look for the best, the best parts, the best cuts, I should say.
I mean, if I could find picanha for $8 a pound, that's all we would eat.
Right.
But that and obviously burger. I ate a lot of frozen burgers, but
so they don't have sales, like you can't get good ribeyes for $8.99 or $7.99.
We can get. I mean, but it's few and far between. But I mean, if picanha is this magical meat, you know what I mean, and everyone's getting it cheap. I mean, if you would rather have picanha over ribeye, and I know that when we're at Keto Palooza, I know that we'll be going to the Brazilian steak place Thursday night before everything kicks off, and I plan to only eat picanha. And so
well, you'll see. You'll get it. Depending on, sometimes they have, like the steakhouse we went to, they had a garlic picanha as well as the regular picanha, and it was amazing as well.
Oh, that sounds good. I like garlic.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was delicious. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'd rather have it than ribeye, but I'd rather have it than strip. I'd rather have it than ribeye is the only thing I can honestly say that if you gave me choice. And when I go to the Brazilian steakhouses, that's what I eat. It's just ribeye and picanha. That's all I have. They try to give me.
I like strip. Realistically, I like any kind of steak, really. As long as now, the one thing that I found, you guys are talking about oxtails and all this stuff, and we've never had it, but we don't eat roasts and we don't eat anything like that because anything that's overdone, like we don't even eat pork a lot of the time because anything that's like has to be cooked well done.
Yeah.
So like pork, almost bacon is usually okay. Pork belly is okay, but like roasts and stuff, like even like beef roasts, they don't digest well for us. So like, I think maybe because we're eating so like even my hamburgers I eat rare. So I know people are like, oh, I don't care.
Yeah, I never liked roast. I don't like the texture of roast. I remember my mom used to make it.
They're stringy.
I used to bury it in my mashed potatoes. You know,
Yeah,
just eat it
really.
that way.
That's the only way you could get it down.
But oxtail is nothing like that. It
No.
looks like roast, but it ain't like it don't taste like or eat like or have the texture of roast. It's much fattier than roast. And I also debone mine before I eat them. So like I take them out of the bones and I just take a fork, strip all the meat off of it. And so it's just meat and fat, because otherwise you kind of have to eat it like an apple, or you have to, you know, there's different ways to do it. Hey, when I'm by myself, I eat it like a caveman. But, you know, if you're out with people, you know, you got to act like you got some manners.
You can make nice bone broth afterward with those bones.
Yeah, I don't do that, but I have a friend of mine that takes the bones. And there's so much collagen in the meat as well. It's got that jelly. It's the best. I like it a lot.
Like when I first started carnivore, I was getting bald spots. You know, before I started, like my hair was falling. I was really stressed and everything, and my hair all grew back in doing that. Just drinking the collagen broth and doing oxtails for a while, and all the bald spots filled in. Yeah, it was bad. Wow. It was like just oh god. I mean, my hair was coming out in clumps, you know, and I think it was stress, but I think I was just at the point where I needed to really do something, because I was sick for like, when I say sick, zero energy for like 2 years prior to carnivore. And I couldn't even paint anymore. You know, that's what I do for a living, is I'm an artist. And it was like literally just trying to hold the brush was like so exhausting. And just, the carnivore gave me my life back. But man.
Yeah. That's
it's
interesting.
Wonderful stuff, that oxtail, because of the collagen content. So anybody that needs like a boost of energy, or having skin problems, or with your nails, you know, being split and stuff, or for me it was like split heels. That stuff is so incredibly healing. It's amazing.
Yeah, I love that.
Wonderful. And I actually saw a really good video, and by the way, and Dante Ferrigno had a recipe. This is where he took chuck. Speaking of cheaper cuts of meat, and he used a meat thermometer. It's like, I can't remember the name of it, but you stick it in and you have your phone, and when it reaches like medium rare, it'll beep. Yeah. He slow cooked it in his crock pot, and it came out juicy and soft. Like it wasn't like that typical chuck, like that, you know, you need a you know, you need an anvil.
It's kind of mushy.
Yeah, it was soft, and it wasn't like all that hard, nervy stuff in it. It came out really good, and it showed him slicing it, and he just put salt on it. That was it, because he does lion diet. And man, so I ordered one of those meat thermometers that he had, and I'm going to give it a try and see how that comes out. Because I mean, $14 a pound is a lot, and especially when that, I mean, it's still cheaper than what I was eating before, you know, with vegetables and everything else. But you know, it adds up. So if I can save a few dollars, why not?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I wait for I don't buy anything that's on sale. That's my favorite kind of meat. I'm just like Dustin. My favorite kind of meat was ever on sale, and I wait, and then I hit them.
Yeah.
When they have that thing on sale,
get out.
I mean, I was teasing about it. The last time they had this, the first time I ever did it was probably around Christmas time last year. Was the first time that I started. You know, I figured all this out and started doing it. So I literally went, they had a big sale, it was like $6.99 ribeyes, and I went to like 3 different Winn-Dixies. I even made a video about one of them, and I cleaned them out. I just like took everything that they had, you know, out of there. And then about 3 months later, and you had to be a member of the club to get the price, because they, you know, you have your little card and all that. And they had about 3 months later, they had another sale, and I went in, and they published it limit 2. the next one, I'm like, I wonder if that was because of me, you know, because I mean, I hit them. I mean, I guess I went to 3 different stores and took everything they had. I'm sure they had more in the back, but clearly they know it was me, because you have to scan your membership, or not your membership, but your loyalty card to get the price. So it's like, they're like, this guy got a pet tiger? You know?
Oh man. I went into Kroger one day a couple years ago, and I went in there, and they had their you know, the squares of ground beef that they'll sell at any grocery store, like the individually packed pounds, and they're like in the square. They're usually grass fed, grass finished, or whatever, and they were normally $8 a pound. They had them on sale. I don't know if they were mismarked or what for $1.99 a pound. I bought 55 of them.
Oh my goodness!
I loaded the cart. I sent a message to Chandra. I'm like, I'm buying 55 pounds of this, and I had just gotten. We have 2 freezers in our garage, and that was the second freezer.
Right on.
So basically, plugged it in and popped all those in there and stacked them up.
I have 2 freezers in my kitchen.
Wow.
So
Nice.
I'm with you on that.
Nice.
And I got them. I made cooking videos. Everybody could see my kitchen, my whole kitchen, whatever's in it. But that's exactly why I did it, because I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna wait. When I really got into this and started seeing how much stuff costs, I'm like, you know what? I gotta wait for sales. And when the sales come, it's like doubling down on a pair of kings and blackjack. It's like, I'm loading up, doubling down, and so that's what I do. And so yeah, I've got a good supply in there.
I have never seen meat go on sale except for it's like the markdown because of the date getting close to expiration. I've never seen sales at Walmart, but I'm going to.
So you don't get a circular flyer in the mail?
No, I live in Las Vegas, New Mexico. We're in the desert.
Yeah, so that's where like Flip will come in handy.
Say again?
The app, a phone app called Flip,
Yes,
F-L-I-P-P.
I wrote that down. I'm going to try that.
I live in the middle of a city. I live in Jacksonville, Florida, literally in the middle of the city. So every week, every Monday, I get like a circular, and it's got 20 different stores and specials, the IGA, Winn-Dixie, Publix, and I also have their apps. So every week I get them. It's like the Sunday paper used to be maybe back in the day. You remember those Sunday paper? My mom used to always get the Sunday paper and clip coupons and all that. Well, it's kind of the same thing, same concept. I get that thing every Monday. I go out there, I sort through, look at all the grocery stores and what's on sale and try to find meat. Sometimes it's hot dogs or sausages or steaks or bacon, just whatever's on sale, and see what's going on and pick where I'm going to go.
I wish they did, because the only flyers we get are like Big R, Tractor Supply, hardware store. Which
all the grocery stores. If you're out in the middle of that in the desert, I get it. But like we have all these, their flyers always in there. We have Save a Lot. We have Winn-Dixie, Publix, Costco. Of course, is not in there. But there's several different stores close by, and they're competing with one another. So I'll go and see what's what. And a lot of times they run sales concurrently too, I guess, for competition. So it's not uncommon that you'll see Winn-Dixie may have bone-in ribeyes $8.99 a pound, and then Publix has it $9.99 a pound, which is still a discounted price.
That is,
but not as low as Winn-Dixie.
I'd be stuffing my cart if I saw them that cheap. I mean, and that's
the other thing is, here's the other thing. Here's the other cool thing. I have a Capital One Saver card, which gives me 3% cash back on groceries. And I belong to the Winn-Dixie Club, which gives you 1% cash back on all your grocery purchases. Nice. So I get 4% cash back.
Wow.
Plus the discount price on everything. So, listen, I'm a little cheap.
No,
actually, that's not true. I'm too tight to be cheap.
It's just being frugal and being smart. Why spend more when you don't need to?
I think I heard it said one time, a penny saved is a penny earned.
Yes.
Uncle Big Guy, good to see you, man. Appreciate you being here. And so that's I'll let you guys into my shopping psyche.
Thank you.
Here on the Keto Cookout.
Much appreciated.
But every place is different, I would think in the Midwest you wouldn't have a problem with decent prices on beef. But I can already tell you right now, my man DK is going to be harassing every meat department within a 20-mile radius.
I love it.
He's going to be like, I want to talk to the head butcher right now. And I would like to know why you don't have the magical picanha out there.
Where's the picanha and why don't I have it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm
So
gonna definitely get
there you
tomorrow and go
go.
shopping. I'm looking for some.
I've created problems in the meat departments in Indiana. Arlene, it is wonderful to see you. She's in Bloomfield, New Mexico, up in the west corner of the state.
Oh wow.
Good to see you. Glad you're here. We're talking about picanha and how hard it is to get in Indiana.
Yeah. I figured if anybody knew, Brett would know. But he's saying it's hard to come by. I mean, we've got butcher shops. I just don't typically go because they're typically more expensive.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's listen, I can tell you this, bang for the buck, you can't beat it. Price for the price, yeah, it's definitely, how about that? It's my favorite cut of meat under $10 a pound that you can get anywhere. How about that? I'll give you that. I prefer ribeye, but I much prefer the price of the picanha. So if you told me I had to do one at full price, I would definitely take the picanha because the extra $3 a pound is not worth it to me for the ribeye. I can tell you that. That is the truth. Evelyn says the picanha fandom goes around and buys a bottle of meat.
Evelyn, do you have picanha in your area? She lives in Ohio. That's not too far from me. I'd travel to Cincinnati area to get picanha.
Yeah. I don't know. That's Kroger land up there, right? Kroger, Giant Eagle.
We've got Kroger. Yeah, Kroger is getting ready to sell like 600 stores because they're getting ready to buy Albertsons.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it must not be maybe it's not a popular cut of meat in certain regions. Obviously down here, there's a lot of Latin American, influence down here, maybe in certain areas. I don't know.
Maybe I need to go to because I know we've got a chain. There's like 3 or 4 of them. They're called Saraga. It's kind of, if you've ever been to Jungle Gyms, it's kind of like Jungle Gyms, but without the normal grocery side of things. So it's basically just the international market that's the size of a Walmart.
Oh, wow.
They're huge. And they're overwhelming how big they are because every aisle is a different country. And so if you're looking for something, you might find it on 10 different aisles, but in 10 different languages.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's almost a whole day. If you're not used to going, like, we'll go and just look. And, I mean, they'll have, like, a full aisle of just ramen because, whatever country, the countries that have ramen, all their traditional ramen, like, not like the stuff we get, but there's, you know what I mean? Every country has it all. And, like, they have pretty extensive meats and stuff. Like, usually there's even, like, a halal little spot where they make the halal meat, or what I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. Basically, well, it's kosher, but the Islamic version, so to speak.
Right.
So yeah, and there's one not too far from me, and there's like another new one that they just built on the other side of town. But yeah, I need to go there and see, or just some of the smaller markets and see if they have it, because maybe they're holding out on me.
Yeah, I'm sure you can get it somewhere. Like I said, butcher shops. If you may have to order a certain amount of it, like, hey, I'll take 5 pounds. I'll take 10 pounds. I'll take just whatever you had to take. You just use what you want, freeze it or whatever. And but yeah, I can't imagine it. Somebody's got it somewhere because they got Brazilian steakhouses in Indy and around. So.
I don't even know if Fogo de Chao has picanha because we've got a Fogo here downtown, and we don't have they might. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, Arlene says she can't find anywhere she's at either. She's on the opposite.
Yeah, she's in New Mexico. Everyone says it's at the restaurant for the meetup on the 27th in Columbus. She going?
I don't know if I'm on the list. I never gave a definitive that I was going, and I think he's got it locked down at 25 people, so I don't know for sure. I tried asking on my live on Sunday because people were in my live, but I never got a definitive answer. If they may not have been listening by the time I got around to asking. So
yeah, who's putting it on? What's the?
It's James and Lisa Ortega. They're putting it together.
Gotcha.
So they live in Indiana, but they're putting it together for Columbus, Ohio. Because they live about an hour north of me, but they're putting it in Columbus, which is 3 hours from me. So,
yeah, we're going to try to do something. Brett is working on putting something together for September.
Yeah, we talked about that. I won't be in town. We have a wedding in September.
Yeah.
Here,
You were telling me that, so we'll see how that works
Christy
out.
said if your grocery store has a full-service butcher counter, you can ask. They can cut it for you. I'm gonna give that a try and go talk to a couple of the different butchers I know, and see what I can do, because that sounds yummy, and it sure would save a lot of money.
Yeah, Brett says Fogo does have picanha. That's the only place he's had it.
We went a few years ago, but long before I ever knew. We went for Taste of Indy, and it was like $35 to go, but it was so crowded it was almost kind of unenjoyable how packed they put everybody in there.
Yeah,
yes, well, I have to thank Christy for that. Christy, you have changed my life. Although I probably would have ended up at a Brazilian steakhouse sooner or later. Yeah. Yes, shout out to Brett. He's having a meetup August the 4th. I will be at Keto Orlando. That's the last day of Keto Orlando. And I will be down there probably at a Brazilian steakhouse having some picanha there too. At some point during that thing. But in any event, I think we have fulfilled our contractual obligations to the family.
I'd say so.
As always, man, I can't thank you guys enough for hanging out with us. I got to thank my friend, my brother, Mr. Dustin K, for hanging out with me during this time. It was fantastic. We always have great conversations every time we're together. We always have a good time. Tell your wife I said, hey, next time if she's not working or whatever, she's, of course, welcome to pop in. And Julia, so good for you to come back through and see us. We missed you. Glad to know you're doing good. Still hanging in there, doing your thing. Congratulations on your 1-year anniversary tomorrow. That is wonderful. I'm so happy for you.
Thanks so much.
So happy that you're in good health and doing well.
Thank you.
And we'll be back here next week, folks, with our girl, Nurse Laura. Laura Russell will be here next week with us. Hope you hang out and have fun with us on the Keto Cookout, Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock. The show about nothing, where we just talk, have fun, hang out. That's what we like to do here. So, in any event, we will see you on the next one. We grilling, baby.
All right.